and welcome to episode 25 of Checkpoint Chat. We're a quarter of a way to a century. How do you feel about that?
That's this is indicative of, if the podcast episode number is indicative of our age, man, we're flying everywhere because today has been a run. Jeez, but a quarter century. Well done.
Century.
We didn't die.
Yeah, we're halfway to 50. So if we were playing cricket every Saturday, it would be pretty good. Although getting to 50 after a year is pretty bad for cricket score.
It's a test cricket. So
it's not a sprint. It's an endurance race.
Yeah. Do you like cricket? Do you like watching it?
If it's on, I won't mind it, but I don't seek it out. You know what I mean?
It's good background. Entertainment.
Especially like a 5-day, you can just put on the TV and not really focus on it and just do stuff. Yeah.
T20s are quite cool. It's like nice, fast paced.
T20s when you go watch them live is pretty fun.
Yeah, that's quite fun.
It's like a 3-hour game, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's really quick.
Yeah. So normally on weekends I put on sports in the background while I'm working. And it's usually just football. Even teams are not watching.
Foosball.
Yeah. Foosball, but with humans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's where football came from. They saw this table. They're like, that's a pretty cool game.
Let's go kick some balls around.
Yeah, let's go kick some balls. Let's put more people on a team. That's honestly the history of football.
Yeah, this is a factual podcast.
It is. There's no lies here.
We spend many days researching these important topics so that you can go to fancy dinners and pretend you know what you're talking about.
It's true. It's true. And if you can't afford a fancy dinner, you can tell the teller at McDonald's
about where football comes from.
They'll find it very interesting, I'm pretty sure.
Fascinating. Yeah. Would you like fries with that story?
They're like, man, this guy's dumb. He's working here eventually.
Yeah, he's my successor. He's going to get a job here.
I like McDonald's though.
Yeah, I think we all.
I'm trying to stay away because I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. So
I didn't arrive to McFlurry, so that's a start.
Yeah, I am drinking a Coke though,
and I've got some pastage donuts for you.
Fuck. You see, you're not helping me
lose weight. He said as Matty feeds him.
But I'm getting to gym a lot more. I'm doing a lot of rowing at gym. Rowing is a fun time.
Yeah. When that one little stint of my life where I gym, I used to love rowing.
Yeah, rowing's a good time. I try not to run at gym because treadmills suck.
Yeah, they're awful. Especially after running IRL.
I don't understand how like a 5K run normally, like a park run, is not bad. But then I'm on a treadmill and I look down, it's like you've only done 500 meters and I'm like, I'm dead. What's going on? How is this different? How?
It's because you're running in the same spots. I don't know, maybe not mentally stimulated.
Yeah, I think it is that.
I think whereas if you're at park runner outside, she's like, wow, look at the trees, the birds. Yeah, is that Snow White singing?
I do know, like on the park runs, I have like mental markers. I'm like, okay, I know when I get here, I'm this far or this far away from the end. Whereas on a treadmill, you're just watching a digital number like
no, you look down, you're like, 1K.
Yeah, you're watching that thing like 10 meters.
2Ks. Have you tried spinning at gym?
I'm not a fan.
Oh my gosh, spinning is just if the devil could be represented as a physical activity, it would be spinning.
Shani loves spinning.
Oh my gosh,
I can't.
I did 1 or 2 classes. Like, nah.
Every single time I do a class, I'm like 10 minutes in, and I'm like, whew. Okay, that was a good session. It's like, oh no, there's another 35 minutes.
Yeah, then they're like, now we're climbing a hill. We're going to put the music up faster.
Yeah, turn that dial. I see you not turning that dial.
And your instructor like starts clapping in time with the music. You're like,
good Lord.
It's just too much energy going.
No, it's too much. And then it gets really hot and sweaty in those rooms and it's disgusting. You can almost like feel it everywhere.
I'm feeling exhausted just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But what I do like at gym the most is swimming. Swimming is dope.
I hate swimming.
I love swimming.
I don't hate swimming. I hate doing laps. I love swimming.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Big difference.
I find it the best cardio fitness thing ever. It's so good. It is boring though.
But it's probably the best for you. There's no impact on your muscles.
Using all the muscles in your body.
Your muscles, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah, your body's like, don't drown. I want to use all my muscles to
it's a survival mechanism. It's like if you don't complete this lap, you'll die. So.
Yeah, and if you come out with a 6-pack, like, whoa, I didn't even know that could happen.
But it is boring. I need to get like underwater earphones or something.
Didn't you get underwater earphones? Oh, you got a waterproof watch.
Yeah, I got underwater. I bought a waterproof iPod Shuffle for Shani because she swims a lot. and she uses that a bunch.
Oh, so that's cool.
I need to get one of those things. There's these weird. They're not earphones because they don't go in your ear, but it's like this plate that sits along like your cheekbone.
Oh my word!
And it vibrates your cheekbone, and because I think it's your cheekbone or something like there's something very close is connected to your ear canal. It produces like sound. So you can So instead of having an earphone in your ear, you have this thing that vibrates this membrane, and you can hear the music essentially.
That is
and
weird.
It only works underwater because of the way the vibrations move underwater. So a lot of people use it for swimming. It's super strange, but super cool. It also looks dumb as fuck.
So earphones are living in 2018, and those things are living in like 2030.
Yeah,
clearly.
Essentially.
Jesus.
But it is weird because like as soon as you put your head above water, so like when you're taking a breath, the vibration, like I don't know, the density of the vibration or whatever changes, so you don't hear the music anymore. So every time we come for a breath, it's like pausing the music. It's like it's so weird.
You're like, no, that was the best part of the song.
Yeah, I fucking love that song.
I've got to rewind now. Oh my gosh.
But that's technology is cool, just like the technology that powers this podcast.
Oh yeah.
As I looked over to our baby soundboard.
These microphones.
Yes. This is episode 25 of Checkpoint Chat. As always, we chat about bullshit before we get to the gaming stuff.
It's the best.
It's the best, yes. You said you haven't been playing much this week.
I've had a wild week of not... Okay, I've played Dead Cells, but I'm not going to...
I saw you playing some Horizon as well.
I literally played like 45 minutes of Horizon this week. So.
And like 40 minutes of that was getting that perfect picture.
Yeah, well, you say that. It was like, here's a boss fight, whatever. Fight the boss. I'm like, yeah, I need a photo here now. I'm going to frame this for a good 20 minutes and sit there, angle it. Like, no, this pose doesn't work. So yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, that's cool. Photo modes are rad.
They are really good.
Do you know which game has a weird photo mode?
No,
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh wow, I'd never have guessed that.
Bad. Well, okay, no, it's a fine photo mode, but there's this weird feature where you can get Lara to do different expressions.
Yeah.
And I've seen people really mess with that, like you can take a photo of her while she's busy stabbing a dude in the neck and then make her smile.
Yeah, she's got like this weird smirk, like,
yeah. Join me on this holiday. Like, it's,
Wish you were here.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, photo modes are great until they're not great. So,
yeah.
But it's not great. Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh no, why?
Yeah. Listen, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is not a bad game.
Yeah.
It is just a perfectly predictable and relatively dull one. Which I couldn't say for Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I thought was spectacular.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah. I think the difference is, like, the original Tomb Raider was a fairly linear experience, and it was, reintroducing everyone to Lara Croft, and there was all this... this thing of like, oh, she's very hesitant to kill people. Oh, she's Rambo, so there was some weird things in that story.
It really
as well.
was. Like, oh my God, I killed someone. And then like literally one man army, one
for
woman
like 10 years after killing a deer, but then kills like 10,000 other people through the course of that game. Yeah. The narrative dissonance, is a weird thing in this series. But Rise is cooler, I thought, because it gave you this sort of, these like several like hub worlds to kind of make your way through at your own pace, and lots of side puzzles, and the challenge tombs were my favorite because they were really cool, big puzzles that made me feel like I was raiding tombs. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider keeps all of that, but it just feels like I've done this before, you know what I mean? So what I do like about Tomb Raider, and I guess the series as a whole, is just they make platforming really fun.
Yeah.
I think if you have to make the obvious comparison to something like Uncharted, Tomb Raider does actual climbing a lot better, I think, because like you're not just moving, pressing X to jump to a new platform, moving. You're jumping, you have to press square to put your pickaxe into the wall, and then using another button to initiate a rappel, so you can rappel down or use it to swing on walls. Sometimes you're jumping and there's a big gap, so you have to press square to like throw out your axe and grapple to something where Lara becomes Spider-Man for a few seconds. It's unnerving how well she does that shit. So yeah, getting around in that game is really good. And if you enjoyed that in Rise, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is like an 80-20 split on mostly platforming and very little combat.
Okay.
Which is fine because the combat's bad.
What?
Yeah, the combat. I mean,
how's that bad though? I mean, because in the reboot, the original one, and Rise, combat I thought was really good.
I thought it was good. I thought I thought it was good. It wasn't that great. Like the aiming was always a bit floaty and whatever, and some of the enemy encounters, like what I really hated that they fixed in Shadow of the Tomb Raider is that you try to be stealthy as much as you could, but if one person saw you, then everyone immediately knew where you were. Shadow of the Tomb Raider messes with stealth in that if you get spotted and you break line of sight, you can re-engage into stealth, which is cool.
Yeah.
But the thing that bugs me the most is that all the combat encounters you come across are really small in scale. So you don't really have a lot of freedom to kind of move around in the ways that you'd want to. Most of the times you're like, okay, I'm going to take down this guy stealthily, and okay, this guy now is set up for me. Oh, there's only 3 people in this camp. It's very small scale. Okay. And like I got into firefights very infrequently, and when I did, it was like, I don't know. I was playing the game on normal, and I've seen a lot of people saying you should play on hard because the game is easy on normal, and I've definitely found that it is like push over easy.
Okay.
So I'd never really felt challenged, but the stealth is satisfying to an extent. I don't know if you remember in Rise of the Tomb Raider, you could use your survival instincts is what they call it, that whole detective mode. And that would highlight enemies with a yellow or red outline. And yellow meant if you take them down, no one will see you, and red, So that's here again, but because the stealth without it is so inconsistent, you have to rely on it. Like I can take someone down and be like, cool, he's in the clear, and someone will see me, and I'll be like, how? And then other times I'll be like, hey, I can't take this dude down, and I'll activate survival instincts, and it'll be like, no, he's yellow, and I'm like, there's a guy looking right at me. Like, how is this possible? So you can't really depend on enemies, placements and lines of sight to kind of guide your stealth. So you have to depend on this tool, which just makes it feel very binary. You're just moving around until the silhouette turns yellow, pressing triangle, and moving on. So it's fine.
It's okay.
And the whole thing that they tout is like, oh, you can cover Lara in mud now so that she can blend in with the more foresty, rainforest environments. And that's cool, but they always put it there when you need it. So there's some enemies with like thermal vision who will see you if you don't use it. So she'll be like, oh, this dude's with thermal vision. Oh shit, there's a mud patch right in front of me. Cool. Just fucking negate the entire reason of that enemy being there. So it's like,
just some bad choices.
Yeah, just bad choices, bad design. But the main thing that really bums me out is just its story. It's just not good at all.
Remember last week you saying Lara was like very unlikable.
Yeah, I mean, which is fine. Like, it's totally fine to have an unlikable protagonist. I mean, Nathan Drake in Uncharted 4 is like fairly unlikable as well, because they really show you how he's impacting the lives of people around him, and you realize, hey, Nathan Drake's a fucking asshole actually sometimes. And they try and do the same thing with Lara in a more ham-fisted, less nuanced way. They show all these disasters that are caused by her, and then her refusal to kind of come to terms with the fact that she's as destructive as the enemies she's hunting down. The thing is, like, it's just either so super in your face that it's just like, okay, cool, I get what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Or they just ignore it completely. Like, you'll have a character die or a big event happen, and Lara will seemingly have some, like, sympathy for it, and then the scene changes, and next thing you're somewhere else, and you're back to killing dudes. And it's like, so is she learning anything by this? Or like, I don't feel like there is a complete character arc for Lara. By the end of the game, they want you to feel like she's learned something, but I don't think she has. Like, she's just done the same shit. And just had people point it out to her, and her go, oh man, maybe this is actually bad, but I'm going to continue doing it. So it's real disappointing. And like, even in Rise, like this whole threat of this Trinity organization and Lara hunting tombs to try and stop some apocalypse, like, it's not really that captivating, and that really doesn't translate into this one. Like, I didn't even really remember the dude's name from Rise. That was like the main antagonist.
Yeah, he was like
reappears
what?
Yeah, he reappears here, and you're like
what?
And she's talking with him like they have a history. I'm like, where's this guy from? And I read up, I'm like, oh right, yeah, he was in Rise. Like, he was the main bad guy. Like, I don't even remember. He's completely unmemorable.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's...
But now, I don't know if this is a spoiler, but do you think they're planning more games? I know it's meant to be like this trilogy or whatever, but do you think they'll carry on with this Lara, or
I'm not sure.
is it time to like put it to bed and like get a new franchise refresh?
I think that if they carry on is really all dependent on sales.
Yeah.
Like if Square Enix sees a reason to continue doing this. I know the voice actress.
Camilla Luddington, I think.
Yes, that's it. I was looking for the name. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name. She said, well, she made statements that seemed to indicate she was done.
Okay. She's a good Lara, though.
Yeah, she's very good Lara. Yeah. I think despite the pretty ham-fisted writing, she does a good job with it. So, I mean, all she said was that the deal was for her to be on for 3 games. So that doesn't mean she can't come back. But, you know, I don't know if they'll carry on making. I mean, look what they did to Deus Ex. Deus Ex looked like a massive franchise, and then boom, overnight, like they were like, no, putting this on the shelf. So yeah, I don't know. I think Rise of the Tomb Raider, at the time, I thought it didn't launch at a bad time, but sales wise, that certainly was the case because it didn't sell well, especially with that deal with Xbox. And I think Shadow of the Tomb Raider's come out at a bad time again. Like it's come out straight after Destiny and Spider-Man. 2 games that are really dominating people's conversations. Yeah. And Shadow of the Tomb Raider has like gone so under the radar. I hardly see people talking about it.
I've picked up like a handful of people very excited, enjoying the game, but it's like compared to Spider-Man launched the week before, I'm still seeing people talking about Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man is all over the place.
I mean, and you think Shadow of the Tomb Raider has been out a week now as one. It was like, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And
there's just no real like I remember when Rise came out, people were like, oh.
Yeah, like they took Tomb Raider and they, like you said, they gave it a hubble. They sort of made it bigger, better. Whereas this sounds more of the same, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah,
but I think
it's a step sideways more than anything else, which is fine. It also just feels like fundamentally like unpolished. Like there's bugs that I ran into and just like weird design choices around combat like that I never really picked up in Rise. Like I felt Rise was on the level of an Uncharted release. It could have been a Naughty Dog release. But this one just feels just okay.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like okay is not bad by any stretch. I will not tell people to not play Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but I will tell people to play other games before they play 100%. I mean, I did that yesterday. Nicola, not sure if he's a friend of the show. He does love squats though.
Yeah. And he sends questions. He loves to rip the show. I don't know if he actually listens.
Yeah,
but
not
anyway.
sure. But like he was asking me, because he's a big fan of the Tomb Raider franchise, whether he should get Shadow. And I'm like, if you haven't played Spider-Man first, 100% get Spider-Man first. Like that's my recommendation. I think you'll get a lot more out of that game than you will out of Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And maybe by the time you get to it, it'll be a bit, cheaper, whatever. But it's a perfectly okay game, which is less than I expected from this series. Put it that way. Disappointing.
It's a bit sad, but I mean, like you say,
it's the third worst one in the trilogy for sure. It's like,
but it's like what you said. I like the analogy. You say it's a sidestep more than a step back, which is fine. Like you'd obviously want people to make the game like rise bigger and better. But hey, if you're a fan of Tomb Raider, you're getting more of the same, I suppose.
And I guess it's hard because Rise was so good.
Yeah, that's a difficult thing. Yeah, Rise. I mean, I played that at the beginning of this year. With the DLC and everything included, and I really loved it. So I don't know how you would, it's always. I think it's always a challenge with games. So even let's say God of War and Spider-Man, the PS exclusives, how will those sequels be better? Like I have no idea. Yeah, I really don't.
I mean, it's easy for people to say just give me the same, but I don't think people realize that they don't want just the same. They want the same fundamentals with new good things added on top. I also think that Tomb Raider changing developer had an impact on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, suddenly this new developer had to wrap up the story that Crystal Dynamics essentially was crafting. And I'm sure Crystal Dynamics, because they're all owned by Square Enix, has a lot of input on this. But it's not the same as having the same people work on it.
Why did that happen? Is it because of the Avengers game that they moved? 100%. Okay, so they just handed it off.
Yeah, Square Enix put Crystal on Avengers because I think they consider them their A-team at the moment, and that's
still a bit weird though.
Yeah, it is strange.
Like getting other people, like not to diss whoever made Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but
Montreal. good developers.
Yeah, but to sort of get someone to like, hey, here's the half finished job, just like wrap it up. It's a bit disjointed, I suppose.
It's hard, and it must be hard for that studio because they're looking at this game that, you know, they've likely have played, but they weren't the developers on Rise. So they have the framework, but maybe not all the inside of how it, made it tick. And you can see that they get certain things right, like the tombs and the crypts that you find on, side parts are really fucking good still. Like, still the best part of the game and still, worth seeking out. But, like, they just don't improve on the things that Rise did badly. It seems like they took Rise as a template and were like, people really like this. Let's polish this up more. And like they weren't able to polish it up more. They still replicated it really well, but didn't improve on it in ways that they needed to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely will play the game. I mean, I love the franchise.
I recommend people to play it
it's
still. But
sort of thing I'm gonna wait for a sale or something.
Yeah, unless you're like burning for something to play or you are an extreme Tomb Raider fan, then sure, get that. But it's not a Game of the Year thing. It's not one of the best games of the year. It's just okay.
Yeah. I'm not burning for a new game.
No, you definitely aren't. No.
I've got a backlog.
You've got
for
another
like
game with
a
a female heroine
with shoot
with
to the bow and arrow.
And it's a fundamentally much better game. So play that one instead.
Oh, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah,
I will get to talking about that when I actually finish it. But
eventually,
I've literally played like 45 minutes. Sure. Did you play anything else this week?
So I've been basically in review mode. Shadow of the Tomb Raider was for review. So it means I haven't got back to Spider-Man, still haven't finished that.
Spider-Man.
But I am reviewing a game for GameSpot called Transference.
Transference, is that with Frodo Baggins?
Yes.
Whoa, that is just a lucky guess.
So Transference is a sort of like experiment by Ubisoft and a new company, like a film game company founded by Frodo Baggins, Elijah Wood.
AKA Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood, yes. I think the company's called Spectavision. I could look it up, but I'm a bit lazy. I think it is Spectavision.
Is it the child of Activision?
Yes. Yeah, it's the ghost of Activision when they die.
Oh, no. Spectavision.
And it's like this walking sim / horror game, which is, so far, I haven't finished it, pretty fucking spooky.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the premise is that this really smart scientist guy, #TM, he's found a way to kind of put consciousness in this virtual reality. So kind of a way to keep people alive beyond, their bodies or whatever.
Immortality.
But it seems that there's some problems with it. And you start the game playing as seemingly his son and his wife that are trapped in this virtual conscious hellscape.
Jesus.
And eventually him. And you're not sure why they're all there. I have suspicions of why they're there, but I'm not going to say it because I guess it's a spoiler. But yeah, basically it's like this fractured feeling of reality, and it's like filled with a lot of their subconscious, like bad thoughts, essentially. Like horrific incidents and traumatic experiences populate this space. And it's all like weird and broken. So it's unnerving. Like you'll be walking through and you'll just hear like snippets of conversations, like conversations that allude to like domestic abuse and like other traumatic experiences, like kids screaming and stuff. It's fucking unnerving. It's really terrifying in a psychological way. And that's partly due to like its sound design being super, super good. The other part of it is like it mixes FMV footage with like actual gameplay. So you'll turn on like a TV and you'll see like a movie type recording of the characters instead of, animated characters. But it's blended in pretty well. I mean, it adds to this weird aesthetic that you're in this digital space and the real world is out there. And it's just creepy. There's some good performances and good acting. And yeah, it's good. What I do like is the puzzles. So you need to solve like very interesting puzzles to progress through the game's story. But how you do this is flipping between the realities of your three protagonists. So if you go to a light switch, you're basically in the same little contained house space, but it's changed. Like the colors have changed. There's items in one reality that aren't in the other. So I don't know if it's like this is the perception of reality from the viewpoints of the character you're playing, but essentially like you'll come across a door and it'll be like, oh, there needs to be a handle here and you don't have one. So you'll flip through the realities, the 3 different realities, and look if there's one in there. And when you pick it up, then you have to go back to the other one and place it in. You don't have like an inventory or anything. It's like one by one. And there's some good instances where it's like a good like puzzle, object find type thing. But while you're finding these things, you're getting all sorts of insight into the story and just being hella freaked out.
Just pooping your pants a little.
Yeah. Like I stopped playing the other day because like there was a pretty intense sequence, and then I turned around and this door was like vibrating and like shaking. I was like, cool. So I opened it.
Why would you open it?
Well, I had to. Like, I opened it and nothing was there, but it was just this like long stretch of a hallway, and the light kept flickering on and off, and I was like, I'm going to bed. I'm done for today. I'm not going to walk down there.
Does your watch have a heart rate monitor?
Yeah, it does.
You should check what your heart rate is during those
I should
times.
see, like, it will probably ping, like, the Apple Watch has this really good thing of, like, hey, you're stationary, but your heart rate's really high. Like, and it'll warn you.
It's like, hey, are you playing a horror game?
Yeah, there should be a horror game setting on there so it doesn't bug me about it, but... Yeah, fuck, horror games and me do not mix.
Is this a VR game? No.
Yes.
Oh, it's okay, it is VR.
So you can play it normal,
okay,
and you can play it in VR.
How are you playing it?
I've played a bit of both.
Okay.
VR is terrifying.
I'm sure.
Especially, it's all to do with the sound. Like, good horror is embedded in good sound design. So they nail that the best. And fuck, it's just... there's like very brief jump scares. Very, very brief. But... it's just walking around and everything's creaking and there's these voices in your head and it's just unsettling. It's really
But
hectic.
I think the thing with VR though is that how it really messes with your senses.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how it amplifies that whole experience.
Yeah, because you have essentially nothing blocking like blocking the experience. So you don't have lights in your peripheral vision or any semblance of the outside world to look at in VR. I mean, I played Resident Evil 7 in VR, and that was a terrifying experience. Both because the game used to fucking bug out and contort my first-person vision in fundamentally strange ways, but also because the game's just hella spooky in VR. It's good. Like, horror and VR just work together. And if you have the nerve for it, it's 100% the best way to play, I think. Yeah, it's got good options for moving around and comfortable settings, and also like your character can't sprint, you're moving at a very slow pace, so there's never any problems with like motion sickness or anything like that. So I'm
glad it's not a VR exclusive though.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's good, and it's 100% as captivating in normal.
Yeah,
it's like if you've played Gone Home, it's sort of like that,
same sort of
spoopier, like that.
Is it an exclusive or is it available on?
It's on Xbox, PC, and PS4.
Yeah, I played on Switch,
and then it's not on Switch. And then HTC Vive and Oculus Rift are supported and PSVR.
Nice.
So yeah, it's cool. It's out now. I'm not entirely sure how much it is, but it's around like 2 to 3 hours as a game.
Have you finished it?
I'm around about there, but I've seen people saying it's around 2 to 3 hours, so that's why cool. I think I'm near the end.
If any longer, you'd have a heart attack.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like I've been playing it forever just because my heart rate is constantly elevated while doing it. So
I haven't played a horror game for a very long time. I don't know.
You played Resident Evil fairly long ago.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship because like I enjoy some of those games. Like, enjoy is not even the right word. It's something about, it's like captivating, I guess, but you almost don't want to play it. Whereas Resident Evil was, it was scary, but those games tend to have you hit a ceiling where it's like, oh my gosh, it's scary, and then you're like, I get how this game works. Yeah. It's not so bad anymore.
I also found like Resident Evil is a really good game, or 7. Really, really good game, but the scare factor diminishes the further you get into it.
Yeah. Which is normal for those kinds of games, I feel. I mean,
I just think the first boss is like so scary.
Yeah.
Like really, really eerie, and walking through the
but he's stalking you.
Is it's spooky.
Yeah.
It's a good time. Don't worry, in January we have Resident Evil 2 to look forward to. Fuck, I'm excited.
I'm so excited for that. And it's coming January. It's so soon.
Did you see the new trailer with the redesign of Ada Wong?
Yeah. It looks... Yeah, here's my question, though. And I know we're diverting a bit here, but so did you play Resident Evil 2, the originals?
I have spots in my memory where I played bits of it because I never owned a PlayStation 1. So, yeah, sort of. I remember being in the police station and the dog jumping through the window.
Okay. No, wait, that was Resident Evil 1.
Fuck.
Although, I don't know,
the liquors on the wall?
Maybe it was probably the liquors on the wall.
Oh, maybe it was the liquors. Yeah.
I mean, I played it so long
I remember those liquors. They were fucking terrifying.
But what I want to ask is, so that game, you could play as either Leon or Claire. Okay. And then when you finish the game, and they'd always play through you'd play the same campaign regardless. So if you pick Leon,
it wasn't
or Claire,
like a different perspective.
It is. Yeah, it depends. That game technically had like 4 campaigns, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
Because you could play as Leon, for example, finish the game. Then there was an option to play Claire's perspective.
Okay.
Which is running through the same areas, but you start like on the other end of the police station.
Oh, okay. So slightly different.
Yeah,
okay.
and then you could start as like Claire from the beginning, play her.
Do their paths never intersect?
No, they do. That's the thing. So if you play with Leon and then you move through the police station, you see Claire, like, oh, hey, Claire, whatever. You move on. And then if you play as Claire, you play to that point and you'll see Leon. Okay. So you get how cool. the narratives weave. But I want to know with this game, I don't think they've shared this, but is it going to be not a linear narrative, but will they have an option to play either or is it going to be one big story stitched together? Like, I'm curious to know.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what approach they're taking because most of the footage I've seen is you playing as Leon.
Yeah.
But like this latest trailer was heavily focused on Claire. Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder, are they going to have the classic, play as either or is it going to be, you can play as both, but they're going to have completely unique areas, their own different parts of narrative? I don't know.
I mean, Capcom's making some cool, neat changes to this game to kind of modernize it. Like they are redesigning some of the enemies and some of the spaces so that you still recognize who they are, but they fit in with the new aesthetic for the game.
Yeah.
Which is less campy horror and more real horror.
Yeah.
If I was in charge of it, I would find a way to meld the two stories together. I also think because that's a modern way to do it.
Resident Evil Revelations 2 played out like that to an extent. Was you played like Chapter 1, Claire's part of Chapter 1, Barry's part of Chapter 1. And that's what you just alternated between two protagonists. So if they do that, that'd be quite cool. But I do wonder if it's going to be, hey, you can play the game as Leon or Claire and then play it again, on the other side.
It's a tricky thing because essentially you're making this game for fans.
Yeah. And like a lot of them will probably want that.
Yeah, a lot of them will maybe want the choice. But to me, having it swap between the two cohesively just makes the whole thing feel like a good adventure that has these intertwining parts. Yeah. Like you said, they come across each other's paths. So, you could get to, if you're playing as Leon, you find Claire and as Leon, you could be like, oh, how did you get here? And then you play Claire's part leading up to that part. And then maybe it diverges or something like that. I don't know. That's how I would do it. I don't know. Maybe there's a new story on how that works. I don't know.
I haven't seen. Point is, I'm excited for the game.
I'm very excited for the game. Yeah,
it's so good.
January's like Resident Evil and Kingdom Hearts
3.5
redo Dream Drop Distance
Reburst.
It's got Big Hero 6 in it now.
It's got, it does, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I dig that Baymax, dude.
Oh my gosh, one day I'll play all of the Kingdom Hearts, but today is not this time.
I will not. I don't have time for that.
Oh my gosh. Should we move on to gaming releases?
Sure. I know we're flying through today.
Unless there's something else you've played.
I didn't really get to talk about Spider-Man last week, but I didn't really play more this week. I think it would be better if we talk about Spider-Man maybe when you've also played it a bit as well. Yeah. Still a good game. Buy that game. Also the fastest selling PlayStation game of all time.
Yeah, what up?
Yeah, just beat God of War.
Somehow.
Sold 3.3 million copies in 3 days.
Yeah, like that I can't believe it. Because I'm like, God of War is really good. But then again,
Spider-Man's got a broader appeal.
Yeah, Spider-Man, more people know Spider-Man.
I mean, when you think God of War is also rated 18, so it suddenly cuts off a lot of people. And Spider-Man is Marvel. Fucking people will...
People love Marvel.
Yeah.
I do think it is weird. It's like 3.3 million copies in 3 days.
Crazy.
I'm like, that's a lot of threes. Does that mean Half-Life 3's on its way? Like,
Don't even.
What is going
Don't
on here? What is going on here?
I did overhear a kid at a Comic-Con last week, because there was Comic-Con Africa last week.
Yeah.
First one in the country. It was pretty good.
Yes. Yeah.
And he was chatting. I was waiting in line for ice cream because I'm a child.
That's why you bumped into a child.
Yeah, I did. I
He was
bumped into
standing
another
behind you.
child. Yeah. And he was talking to his friends, and he's like, the new Spider-Man game, it looks like it's not good because you only use one button to swing. I'm like, my friend, let me tell you a story.
That's when you pulled out a stool out of nowhere, like, sit down, let me school you.
Let me school you on how fucking incredible swinging around in this game is. So yeah, if you're worried or somehow put off by that, just play the game. It's so good.
You know what's weird is that a lot of people had not doubts about the game, but thinking like, yeah, we don't know how it's going to be, because they never really showed swinging in any of the trailers. It was always like, here's a boss fight, here's some cinematic, here's
stealth thing.
Yeah. But I don't know, it's weird how they didn't really show the swinging, because looking at videos now, I'm like, if they had just shown that from the beginning, people would have been like instantly sold.
I also think it's a case of like, you can see the swinging, like in some gameplay videos they showed it, but when you aren't actually playing it, you don't get a sense of the feel. So you can look at it and go, that looks good. But how does it really like feel? Yeah. And that's the thing that Spider-Man gets right, is just this flow of like, I'm holding R2 to swing. I'm letting go at the right time to do this weird, cool pirouette in the air. I'm letting Spider-Man fall a little bit and then whacking it again. And you feel that momentum like carry through. And that is something you can only get when you play. Yeah.
So, but I mean, watching people stream and all they do is swinging around, I'm like, wow.
It's so good. And there's so many little like animations that are cool. Like if you web zip. So if you hold R2 and L2, you do a web zip to like a point. Yeah. And if you do it to like a water tower, like Spider-Man will just like do this weird like dodge through the metal arms of the water tower. And the same with fire escapes. You'll do this cool little crawl thing. Like that game knows how to keep momentum going. There's never any interaction that's like stops you dead in your tracks. Like even if you're running on a wall and you get to the end of the building, like a corner, depending on what you're pressing, you'll either continue swinging forward or he'll do this like weird jump, web to the corner and do a 90-degree turn around so you carry on running. Like everything is about keeping you moving. And I can't imagine all the fucking headaches they must have gone through. Like
to do that,
we've put this in. Oh shit, now if you hit this, now, you stop. So now we have to custom make an animation for this thing.
That,
Or it's really
so
well done.
Good.
It's so polished.
Oh, one day.
Yeah, you need to finish Horizon and then get to this fucking Spider-Man game.
Get me time for Spider-Man.
Get me copies of Spider-Man.
Oh my gosh, give me copies. I'll just steal you. Where are you hiding it?
It's gone. It's
gone. No, what?
You'll never find it.
You'll never catch me alive.
But should we get to game releases? Let me find my bookmark.
Your bookmark.
That is never ever prepared.
I don't even have a fake sponsor for us today.
How dare you? What about Coca-Cola?
Coca. How about a plug a Pastage de Nata?
Oh, do that. Yeah.
For people who don't know what that is, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Pastage de Nata.
That's correct.
It is a Portuguese delicacy, a little custard tart / dessert thingy. They are delicious. That's all I can really say about them. Have one of those with a coffee and you're good to go. Although, have you ever been to Belay in Portugal?
Yep.
So you've had the original. Man, that's
walking
so
into a cafe and it's warm and they put a little bit of cinnamon on it and give you a coffee.
Yeah, so Belay, listeners have probably heard of Belay because we've got some bakeries here in South Africa called Belay.
I mean, historically they were called Pastéis de Belém first and then changed over. Yeah.
So it's the original bakery that concocted the first Pastéis de Nata. Whoa, someone's ringing.
I will answer that later.
They're in Portugal and they've been there for decades now and they're still there today, pumping out delicious custard tarts. Yeah. What's going on?
The person I'm meant to be meeting for lunch is running late, so that's working.
Oh, well, that works out enough because I was running late today.
What are we in? October? Nearly.
Nope, nearly October.
Nearly
October.
So we are looking for release dates up to the 28th of September.
Yes.
And today is the 22nd. Guess what? There's a whole... Jeez.
There's a lot of games.
So many games.
Let us fly through them.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Okay. So, September 24th, a game called... I think it's meant to be said Heaven, but it's Heaven, all in capitals.
I believe that's pronounced Heaven.
Heaven. And if it was HEVR, it would be Hevar, and it would be a VR game about being in heaven.
Okay. Every week we have a good idea. Mm-hmm. That is this
a good one. You could suddenly sell video games to like super religious people.
Call us up, Gabe Newell. We've got ideas for you.
DLC would be different religions.
Oh man!
So you can explore all versions of heaven.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Cool. Coming out on September 25th for PSVR, game called Dark Eclipse. Haven't heard of that.
It's Shadow of the Tomb Raider VR DLC.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. For Switch on September 25th, Oh My God Heads Party Edition.
Wait, is the game called Heads? Or are you just excited?
God,
You're
heads.
like, oh my God, Heads.
But like God Heads is one word.
God Heads?
Yeah, God Heads.
God Heads.
Oh my God Heads.
Oh my God.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Whatever that is.
I thought this was out. Valkyria Chronicles 4. PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch. September 25th. Play this game.
Have you played it?
I played the original Valkyria Chronicles, which is on PS3. Yeah. And then 2 and 3, if I'm not mistaken, were on either Vita or 3DS. I can't remember. And the fourth one is back to like, core consoles.
Yeah.
Of what it is like this anime turn-based strategy game that takes place in like this weird different World War II setting. So to me it almost looks steampunk, but it's really just old history. But it's got things like permadeath, like XCOM has. So when you're losing a teammate, you're also losing an integral part to the story, stuff like that. It's really good, and I've only seen good buzz about Valkyria Chronicles.
I think a lot of people have been reviewing it, but I didn't realize it wasn't out yet.
Yeah, I also thought it was out. That's super weird. That's a game I will 100% play on Switch.
I think there is a demo for it as well.
Yes, there is a demo out. Yeah, on Switch you can get a free demo.
Oh, free if you call now.
Yeah,
we'll throw in this month.
If you dial the number for Nintendo Power.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Pay wait, Nintendo Power. That number still exists, right?
I'm not sure.
I have a feeling it does.
We should call it one day.
Don't call it from me. Pay international rates.
25th of September on PS4. Air Missions: Hind.
I'm going to stand by what I said. Developers, they have hats with random words in them. They pull them out one by one and they just stitch it together as the name.
Hind.
Okay. Oh my God heads.
Oh my God heads. Coming out on PC on September 25th. New Gundam Breaker.
Wow.
Don't know what that is, but I guess it's got Gundams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big robots and they break stuff. And it's new.
What? New Gundams?
New Gundams.
I'm taking leave.
September 25th coming to Switch, South Park Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
Which I guess is just because, hey, the sequel's on the fucking Switch, so why not put the first one out? Little Bug is coming to PC on September 25th.
Little Bug's Life.
It's going to infect your PC.
Oh, no.
The Conjuring House on September 25th for PC. If this is tied in any way to the movies, fuck this.
It's probably a horror game. The Conjuring House.
Maybe it's a house that likes to do magic.
Yeah. It's a magician. It's got a big
spells.
top hat.
Yeah.
On its roof.
Oh, wait. Isn't this a MOBA? Arena of Valor?
I don't
Switch? Know. Isn't that mobile
There's
MOBA?
A Switch MOBA coming out?
Wasn't it the one the one you and Craig used to play on smartphone?
Oh, no. That was Vainglory.
Is that Vainglory?
Yeah.
Arena
Which is still doing pretty well, actually. Conjuring.
Okay. I thought that's what it was.
No.
Anyway,
you're wrong.
Arena of Valor is coming to Switch. Then the biggest release of the week, arguably. Hollow Knight Void Heart Edition.
Oh, yeah.
Coming to PS4 and Xbox One September 25th. Buy this game. Buy it right now. See why it's good.
We've mentioned Hollow Knight every week for like the last 7 weeks running now, and there's a reason.
It's so good. It's so cheap. It's criminally. It's like criminally
cheap. How much is it? It's like $150.
It's for the whole game, a 30-hour adventure, and then DLC.
Just don't eat lunch for 2 days, 3 days maybe, 4 days, depending. I don't know how much you spend on lunch, but just don't eat it and take that money and buy Hollow Knight.
Oh my god.
And consume that game instead.
I can't wait for more people to play this game because it's so good.
It really is good. I need to bounce back to the DLC.
The Escapists Complete Edition coming to Nintendo Switch on September 25th. There's a lot coming on.
The Conjuring House is a psychologically driven horror game that puts players in a constant state of anxiety that crescendos into raw panic and terror. That's the opening
sign
line.
Me up.
Yeah. Okay, that I just had to see because I was curious.
Sign me up. Raw tension and anxiety?
Yeah. It puts players in
a game about my life?
Constant state of anxiety that crescendos into raw panic and terror.
Yeah, this is just, I mean...
The game...
This doesn't sound like a game. This just sounds like real life.
Sounds like, real life, man.
Yeah.
It's basically
I mean, you're planning a wedding now. This sounds exactly like that.
No, it's no.
You paying taxes.
I'm usually going, I'm paying taxes. Yeah, that's what causes anxiety and stuff.
Oh, God. Here's a game title. Okay.
I know.
Gianna Sisters, Twisted Dreams, Ultimate Edition. It's not Ultimate.
OWL. I appreciate whoever wrote that.
Ultimate. Who?
Give that person a raise. Yeah, who came up with that?
So, Gianna Sisters Twisted Dreams was a game. I guess this is just another edition for it. I guess we could be mean to Hollow Knight as well and say Hollow Knight, Void Heart Edition.
Yeah, but
that sound like random words. Also, it's Hollow Knight. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight
How dare you? Yeah. How dare you say anything bad about it?
This other one. Parkasaurus.
Yes.
Steam Early Access.
Parkasaurus Rex.
Parkasaurus Rex. Yes.
Parkasaurus. You carry on. I'm going to look that up.
This is the Police coming on... No, this is the Police 2 coming on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch September 25th.
That is a cool name for a game.
Then we have Pathfinder Kingmaker on September 25th. Is this any way related to Pathfinder, the board game?
It might be. I mean, isn't Pathfinder like TM?
Isn't Pathfinder like Monopoly?
No.
I'm just trying to trigger people.
Do you want Garth to kick down the door and kill us both? Take back what you said. Parkasaurus is a zany dinosaur park management game. Wow, who would have thought?
So
it's in the name.
Jurassic Park?
It's basically in the name.
Okay, cool. Coming out on September 25th as well. Think of the Children.
Wow, all the game names sound like random quotes this week. It's like,
Think of the children.
This is the police. Think of the children.
I bet you could string together a bunch of these and make a story, like a cohesive story. You know, like at school where people would write one word of a sentence on a board and you just have to continue it. That's what it feels like.
So this is how it happens. The cops kick down the door and say, Parkasaurus, this is the police. Think of the children. Bam, there we go. Just Hollow Knight Void Heart. I see, I lost it.
Yeah. Oh. We see you've been smuggling new Gundam breakers.
Oh no.
Oh my god, heads.
Oh my god, heads. We should do this every week.
God, okay. Deep Sky Derelicts. Some people like alliteration as well.
Oh my god, heads. Deep Sky Derelicts.
Oh god, the next one fits in so perfectly. So they're in the house and they fire off some shots accidentally and the police go, oh my god, heads, 0 killed.
Oh no.
That's the next game.
Yeah.
Coming out for Rift and Vive on September 26th.
0 killed. Wow.
Oh fucking god. Just gets worse. Let It Die on PC. That's actually a pretty good game before we mock the name. Like, pretty good game. Came out on PS4. It's made by Grasshopper Games, I think it is. It's cool. You should play.
The police commissioner bursts in. He says, let it die. And they're like, no, 0 killed.
But then someone bursts out from the closet and says, I'm Killer 7. That's
is that the game? Oh my god.
That's a remake of not a remake, a remaster of a very good game coming to PC.
All these tech game titles just fit so nicely.
Oh my god, okay. I'm going to fly through the next.
Oh my god,
there's just so many. Okay, Battle Royale coming to PC September 26th. Life is Strange 2 launching for PC, PS4, Xbox One on September 27th.
Interesting.
Cool. Armello coming to Switch on September 27th. That's that board game, digital board game. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah?
I played it at E3 a while ago. Yeah, pretty cool. X Order also coming to Switch on September 27th. Eximus sees the front line.
Eximus.
Don't know. Cool.
What is life?
Whispering Willow, Switch, September 27th. Wonder Song, PC and Switch, September 27th. Towerfall is coming to Switch.
Yeah.
On September 27th. That's pretty cool. I like Towerfall. Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Whoa.
Fighter Z coming September 28th for Switch. I'm skipping some because I can't.
You can't even.
What? Catastronauts. Like catastrophe, but astronauts? Catastronauts. It's like this podcast.
It's What are you talking about? We are so organized on here. What are you talking about?
PC, PS4, Xbox One, September 28th. Namco Museum Arcade Pack. Is that just Pac-Man?
Maybe.
I don't know. Coming to Switch.
Maybe.
FIFA 19, September 28th. PC, PS4, Xbox One, Switch. Yeah. And Dakar Rally 18.
Here's a little side. I've been playing FIFA at the office.
What?
And I've never been a FIFA person, but I can say I'm slowly getting to FIFA.
Are you getting good?
Yeah, I won this week.
Are you gonna enter the esports?
Oh hell no.
No, do you play as Portugal?
So, I actually did.
Nice.
Just the one time.
Get that good Ronaldo on your team.
Yeah. Ronaldo didn't. He kept getting yellow cards, man. The guy's too rough. It had nothing to do with me start tackling on anyone.
No.
And
it's
then
the game.
The best is he's so like. They've captured him so well when he's like, "Whoa, I did nothing." I'm like, "Yeah, good job, yeah, good job."
They should get Neymar on there and him just like rolling from one end to the pitch
push
to the
to
other.
roll button. Nice.
Yeah, push to roll. Here's a special feature. It's like a special move.
I'm totally playing Brazil next.
That's your game releases for the week.
Yeah.
Guess there's a lot coming out.
Game releases.
A lot of games. There's also a lot of news. A lot of shit happened this week.
Yeah.
Let's start with the heartbreaking stuff.
Yeah, like which happened yesterday.
Yeah. So there's been 2 pretty high-profile studio closures this week.
Were there 2?
Yeah. So on Monday or Tuesday, it was Capcom Vancouver, who are the only American Capcom studio, the only Western Capcom studio.
Oh, shit.
American. Vancouver's in Canada.
Jesus.
And they were responsible for making Dead Rising 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
They worked on Puzzle Fighter as well, which is on mobile. But apparently they were working on a brand new project. Capcom canned it. They're taking a hit of $40 million because of it.
Jesus.
And the day after, they closed down the studio, and I think it was like 200 people lost their jobs.
Shit. Hectic.
Yeah, not cool.
Yeah.
No, and then last night, out of nowhere, Telltale. Rest in peace.
That was...
Did not expect that.
Yeah, it was... I thought they were in a good place.
I thought they were in a better space than what they were, because they were struggling at a time. But like at E3, they announced, a project to bring Stranger Things as a series. They had already announced Wolf Among Us Season 2.
Yeah.
I'm very emotional about
Someone will pick that up.
And, they just kicked off the final season of The Walking Dead. They were busy making a new season of Minecraft. You see, so maybe this is a bit part of the problem. Like, too many things going on at once.
I think that was part of the problem.
But I read a few tweets from some of the employees and just reports going around. So, firstly, the report is that the studio's still open for now. They cut down their staff from 250 people to only 25.
Yeah, that's a massive
so, like... most of the company's gone, and apparently the 25 people, initially it was reported that they were staying on to finish the season of The Walking Dead because it's only 1 episode in. But now there's conflicting reports saying that they are actually there to finish off the season of Minecraft, and The Walking Dead's final season has been cancelled.
Really? Okay, I didn't know
Which is fucking intense.
That is hectic.
Either way, depending on whichever project they're working on, when whatever project they're working on ends, the studio's expected to close because Telltale's filed for bankruptcy. Turns out that only the first season of The Walking Dead and their Minecraft titles pulled a profit.
Really?
The rest did not.
Jeez,
so Batman, even though the 2 seasons of Batman were exceptional, Guardians of the Galaxy, Wolf Among Us, every other season of The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Tales of the Borderlands, nothing. But studio has been known for its obscene crunch, like working people to the bone. So, but it's terrible because employees were tweeting out that they're getting no severance packages.
Oh, yeah.
Some employees have only been there for 2 weeks and moved, over the country to be San Francisco, the most fucking expensive city in the world, and now don't have pay. Like, it's a mess. It's a complete mess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's very sad.
Thoughts to everyone affected. Sure.
Yeah.
That's
but
horrible.
one good thing that has come out of this is that, I don't know if you've seen on Twitter as well, for example, there's a lot of studios saying like, hey, like Naughty Dog, I know, it's like, hey, we've got jobs, hit us up, let's do something.
Game dev Twitter is pretty good at that. As soon as they see a closure, they're like, hey, we've got job
But
postings.
I think it was a lot, like, even if I remember, I think Ubisoft this morning was like, hey, like, hit us up, we'll meet on the 22nd of September.
Oh, yeah, they said they'd buy them lunch and whatever.
Let's talk, let's see if we can help you guys out, which is really cool. I mean, it's nice to see all these other studios, like, I mean, at the end of the day, they are competitors, technically.
Yeah, they are. But I mean,
but it's like,
they see talent. Like, Telltale's good. So, getting people who worked there, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I do know that former IGN journalist who now works at EA Motive, he worked on Star Wars Battlefront 2, Mitch Dyer. He has a list, like a Google Doc, that circulates around game dev spheres that keeps like a listing of job opportunities across multiple studios. And whenever something like this happens, he retweets it out. But you should go to his Twitter handle and check out that list if you really need it. So
that's one good thing to come. I love it when people come together.
Yeah, it's good that it feels like there's this camaraderie within the industry. I just wish that all this camaraderie could be focused into better working conditions for the people in this, because this keeps happening and it's fucking horrible.
It's hectic.
400 people in a week lost their jobs in the game industry. That's horrible.
Suddenly, I mean.
Yeah, like just out of nowhere. So
no severance packages. I mean,
that's
people have been
horrible.
like literally booted out. Like how do they pay rent?
Like imagine you move to San Francisco for a month. You're working at Telltale now. Firstly, it's you're not getting paid because you've been there for less than a month. You're not getting severance, but you've moved your whole life to the most expensive city in the world.
Like, I don't get it though. How do you hire people? I don't know. Like
if you're
maybe
in
it's
such a bad
miscommunication or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how business things work in that respect, but it's
hectic.
Yeah, it's bad. Anyway.
Hectic.
Other news. PlayStation Now. Have you heard of that name?
Yes. Hallelujah.
So PlayStation Now was Sony's streaming service. And we could never get it here because we have trash internet.
Yeah.
And also we don't have a server nearby, so it would never work.
Yeah.
Turns out they took a page from Microsoft's book and are now allowing people to download most PS4 titles for now, and all their PS2 titles on the service. Pretty cool.
Which is cool. Which unfortunately it's not available locally.
Still not, no. And PRF said it's not planned to either, which is horrifying.
Which is rubbish. But hopefully,
I mean, you can circumvent it pretty easily.
Yeah.
You could. PSN accounts, download the games.
But you don't want to have to jump through hoops.
Yeah, there's hoops. Like Games Pass is available locally. Yeah. So it's still not at the point where I'd outwardly recommend it. But this is good because this is an answer to it. You pay $9 a month or $10 a month, whatever, and you have a library of a lot of PS4 games that include like Bloodborne and Uncharted and stuff like that.
That's good though. I mean, it's finally like, hey, Sony's like, hey, we need our own Game Pass. Oh, we have the streaming service which we just refuse to make. Game Pass.
And even people in America with really fast connections were saying that it was a trash experience.
So good
cool.
on you. Good on you.
It is funny that the PS3 library is excluded, and I don't think that's on purpose. I just think that it shows how different the PS3 cell processor was and how difficult it is to get that shit running on current hardware.
Yeah. Hectic.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to release the PS3 Mini.
Oh, my God. Yeah, let's talk about that. PS1 Mini.
PS1 Mini.
It's even called the Mini. It's even advertised in the same way as Nintendo. Sony just really didn't
can hold it in the palm of your hand. Yeah, there's literally a copy pasta.
It's really cute, though. I like it.
Yeah, it is really cute. But I do like how Xbox came out of nowhere. Like, hey.
Oh, yeah, hey, we've got our back catalog on your Xbox.
You can play like original Xbox and 360 games like right now.
For free if you have the
if
disc.
you have them.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. But hey, it's a PS1 classic, whatever. Cool. That's cool.
They are charging you for your nostalgia, but cool.
One thing I wish they would do, and this goes shout out to Nintendo as well. Could we please make the controllers wireless?
Yeah, fuck. Why?
I don't know why they are wired. I really don't. It's like no one sits on top of their TV anymore.
Yeah.
I want to sit on my couch far
And, like,
away.
Maybe that increases the price of the thing, but like,
But
put
it's
a
fine.
Bluetooth chip in that thing. Or
I'll pay an
whatever.
extra 200 to 400 rand. Surely it can't be more than that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't understand it. I don't know if they do it for nostalgia purposes or whatever, but the big thing about this one, okay, firstly, it's going to have 20 games. They've announced 5 of them, which include Wild Arms and Final Fantasy 7. Like, fucking duh.
No Final Fantasy 8 confirmed.
7, yeah. But the controllers aren't the DualShock ones. So any games that require the analog sticks will clearly not be supported on this thing. And there's a lot of good PS1 games like fucking Ape Escape that now can't be on this device.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
What is the like 3 games you want to see on this thing?
Final Fantasy 7?
It already is on there.
Yeah, no, it's on there. Resident Evil 3, definitely.
Was that a PS1 game? I thought it was PS2.
PS1 game.
Oh,
that is the Resident Evil I played again and again and again and again. Okay. Really, really good. And I don't know, if I had to have like a wild card, did you ever play Siphon Filter?
I did.
That was a really, although I don't know how it would hold up today.
Yeah,
I really do, because it was like
it was already weird.
A cover shooter, like you hide behind cover, you step out, you
and
shoot.
it was like stealth.
But it was like revolution time. Like, oh my god, you can hide and step out behind cover. Maybe something like that. But I don't know. PS1, there's just too many games to choose from. I mean, like I wouldn't say Crash because we've got a remaster now, so it's a bit of a waste. Not Spyro because we've got a remaster.
Again, I don't think they'd bring Crash or Spyro because of the remasters.
If I think about my PS1 games like Abe's Odyssey, they've made a complete ground-up remake.
But then surely Resident Evil would be in that same vein though as well.
Yeah, but there's a Resident Evil 1 remake. There's no Resident Evil 3 remake though.
Do you think they're not going to remake 3 if 2 does well?
Oh my gosh, my dream is that if RE2 does well, which I really think it will do,
they remake Nemesis.
Ooh. I will be so happy. Ooh. Like, that is still probably my favorite Resident Evil game. So if they could remake that, oh my gosh. All I've done this week at work is watch speedruns of RE3. I've just had it on in the background like, yeah. What did you have?
100% Crash Team Racing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because Crash Bandicoot, they won't put in there. I don't think they need to have a Crash game, and the best Crash game is Crash Team Racing.
Crash Team Racing.
So, yeah. No analog sticks. I mean, it doesn't require them, but it's a bit of a bummer.
It is weird that I haven't included analog sticks. I wonder if I'll include like Gran Turismo, although I think that by today's standards is hot garbage. I don't know.
Yeah, Jesus, that's hot garbage. But no.
I'm trying to think what else I played.
Crash Team Racing. I want Symphony of the Night on there.
That has to be included.
Has to be included.
Symphony
what else then?
Of the Night.
I was going to say original Resident Evil, but that doesn't make sense considering
there's a really good remake.
There's a remake. Yeah, I mean, I didn't play many PS1 games because I never really owned one, and a lot of the ones that I would have said have remakes. So.
Yeah, it's actually weird now going through the list of things I would have. I'm like, oh wait, they've all been remade, or you know.
So yeah, those are my 2.
That's cool. You know, one thing I don't think I'll buy the PS1 Classic because I'm like, yeah, nostalgia is cool, but like I have no. Honestly, the fact that it's not wireless controllers, I'm like, no,
fucking annoying.
Like I'm really not keen. But as someone who never had a PS2, I would 100% buy a PS2 Classic.
So we had this conversation at work, and the main thing I find a problem there is this is a console that lasted like 11 years. Pick 20 games.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
They'd have to pack in a lot of games.
You can't, like, that library is so extensive and so good. Like 20 games would be impossible.
Even the
you'd
PS1,
need like 50 or 100.
Yeah, but even the PS1 20 games, I'm like, you could do more than 20.
You could do way more than 20. Yeah.
Oh, isn't Tekken going to be on there?
Yes, Tekken was announced.
Tekken 3 is like a game I also played a shit.
I think it's the first Tekken though.
No, why is it the first Tekken?
The first Tekken's fucking
That's bad. It must be Tekken 2 or Tekken 3.
Let me actually check. Hold on.
I think it's Tekken 3. I could be wrong.
PS1 Classic.
PS1.
Let us see on GameSpot.
No, what were the 5 confirmed?
Final Fantasy 7, Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer Type 4, Tekken 3, and Wild Arms.
Jumping Flash.
Okay, so Tekken 3 is definitely the best of the ones on there. So, yeah, cool.
Jumping?
Fuck, if they put Tekken 1 on there, that would be
No, that's a
hot
waste. That's a
garbage.
waste of space, man.
Hot garbage.
Jumping Flash. What? I remember this.
What's Jumping Flash?
I played this. I think there's a second one.
Run Barry Run?
It was a it was a first person shooter / platformer game. I don't think I played the first one. I played the second one.
Okay. First person shooter and platform. I can fuck with that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Another Sony news. PS Vita, rest in peace. Production's ending in Japan.
No.
It finally happened. Rest in peace.
Mine is not going anywhere. Except to you, who still wants to play Symphony of the Nights.
Yeah. Oh, if 70 of the Nights on this fucking PS1 Classic, I'll do that.
But you can't take it with you on the go.
Don't tell me what to do.
Not your mom. What is this?
It's more Devil May Cry footage. There is this really funny story that came out of Devil May Cry 5. So, you never played Devil May Cry, right?
No.
Okay. So, in 4, the whiny protagonist Nero, he has this, like, devil arm.
Yeah.
Okay. And it gets cut off in the climax of it.
Yes.
So, now in the 5th one, he gets a whole bunch of, like, robot arms as, replacements. So, Capcom were like, cool. Let's put in pre-order bonuses for this. So this week they announced that there's DLC where you can turn his robot arm into like a Mega Man blaster. Pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
You can turn all the fingers and stuff into bananas. So it's a banana arm, which is super weird.
That's this Game of the Year material, right?
Yeah. Then there's this arm.
I know.
And it's this white robot arm. And the description for it is interesting.
Do tell.
So Darren. So there's this there's a character from 4 who is essentially Nero's girlfriend called Kyrie.
Yeah.
So the description goes, Nero is too rough to do the job without hurting Kyrie, so this device is made of soft materials. Its vibration feature is especially effective at alleviating shoulder and hip pain.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Shoulder and hip pain, you say?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no. Why? What is this?
Capcom is just leaning into this thing.
Is hilarious.
It's very funny.
Good tactic.
But yeah, that's a pre-order bonus. You can essentially give Nero a vibrator for his girlfriend to wear on his arm. Yeah.
That is 10 out of 10 right there.
10 out of 10 writing. What else is there this week? Oh yeah, THQ keeps buying game properties.
Did they buy another one?
Alone in the Dark.
What? Okay, let's recap. They've bought Alone in the Dark. They've bought...
they bought Time Splitters like 2 weeks ago.
And Kingdom
of Amalur.
What? Where are they getting all this money from? What is going on?
Well, it seems like they're picking these up for...
like a nickel.
Yeah, completely nothing. So
wait, I've seen that header before.
Yeah. I thought the last Alone... Not the very recent Alone in the Dark, which is garbage, but the one that came out in like 2008? Somewhere around there.
The one with that header?
Yes, that.
Yeah?
This one. I thought it was pretty cool.
I never played it.
Went back and read reviews to see if I was right. People didn't like that game.
People hated it, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So
I never played it. But I'll take your word for it.
Oh, let's see.
Red
Dead.
Yeah. Oh.
Red Dead Online. So Red Dead Redemption 2. Big release.
Some game you might have heard of.
Yeah. Of course it's getting an online component because GTA Online has basically made Rockstar into billionaires.
Yeah.
And it's launching a month after the original, release on the 26th of October. They didn't really detail what's in Red Dead Online, but they basically said that they're building on what was on the first game. So the first game had a pretty robust, very interesting multiplayer. Like you played in this online shared space with other people, and from there you could initiate, things like death matches or heists. And, this all happened before GTA Online. And it was like a real, if you go back to it and look at the time when it came out, that's a pretty big step for online gaming. So essentially what they're doing here is that the massive full map from the single player game is replicated online. Yeah. And you have free reign to explore it like you do in single player. And then there's online missions that you can tackle single or with groups. So I assume there'll be some form of heist, some forms of, death matches and some narrative missions and stuff. Because GTA Online did this. It built a story within its online world. So, yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. There was also a lot of hands-on details.
Yeah, I was just going to say there were people who played the game and they've already dropped their previews this weekend.
Did you read any of it?
Just bits and pieces, and oh my gosh, the little details that have come out have just been mind-blowing.
You know,
which one are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of the horse.
It's the horse, isn't it? I read the one where it's like, horses' testicles will shrink or expand based on the temperature.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like...
I love the details.
Like what? You know how many people are going to get off their horse and be like, huh, it's cold, clearly also.
Imagine being the dude at Rockstar that like opened up his email, got to his like to-do list for today. It's like, make testicles expand.
What do you do? I work for Rockstar. What do you do at Rockstar? I'm the horse testicle animator.
Good Lord.
But other cool
that's
details.
Cool. Yeah, there's cool little details. Like what struck me was that how much of a survival game it seems to be.
Yeah.
Which immediately turned Darren and Jeff off the game.
They're like, no.
Yeah, and it's a, you know, I mean, we got to see how much of an impact it has on gameplay, but things like you'll have to manage, I think the guy's name is Arthur Morgan. You'll have to manage his hunger. If his hunger gets too low, then he starts becoming dizzy and it will like blur your vision and it will reduce healing. So stuff like that. Your guns will degrade over time, so you'll need to polish and clean them. Otherwise they'll jam. Far Cry 2. You have to take care of your horse. You have to bathe. Otherwise, shopkeepers won't attend to you. If you eat too much, you'll put on weight. If you eat too little, you'll lose a lot of weight. So San Andreas apparently have that.
That's what we're saying at the office. Like, San Andreas, you're going to have to hit the gym. Get really buff.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people were immediately like, can I turn this shit off? And by many people, I mean Darren. Because he immediately says this is not for him. But it depends on how much of an impact it has on the game. Like, if it's really hardcore, like constantly like, hey, you need to eat. Hey, you need to eat.
Yeah,
hey,
that's a problem.
Hey, you need to eat.
Drink water.
You know, I don't mind that because I dig survival games to an extent if they're done well. But that would turn a lot of people off.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's there. I don't think it's going to be that hectic where or mission to like be clean or have to eat or whatever. I envision like, I mean, think about like say The Witcher. Okay, you don't have to eat, but large part of your health came from food you ate. There was food all over that world, and you just open your inventory like, hey, I'm going to eat this cake.
But
I'm done.
If you didn't eat for like a week, Geralt wouldn't die.
No, yeah, but I mean, if you have like an inventory system, it's like, hey, I'm hungry. Oh, I've got a piece of bread, like whatever, eats it. You're good for an hour.
Yeah, so it's not such of a mission if you constantly have the food.
Yeah.
Like, but if it's like, oh, I can't do the story mission because I don't have food, so now I have to go hunt so I don't die.
Yeah, then it's a problem.
Well, I mean, depending on what sort of game you're looking for, to me, that doesn't sound like a problem. It just sounds like it's real.
Yeah, not a problem. But I mean, the point I'm trying to get is that I don't think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be a mission of like sourcing food. I think maybe the beginning of the game when you're starting up, like any game, you know, getting weapons and ammo, you're going to have to get food. But you'll reach a point where it's there. You're always going to have a big supply. And it's more of like a formality than an actual like, oh my God, I'm going to starve to death. It's like, oh, I should eat. Cool. Like pull open your menu, eat something. 2 seconds later, you're done.
Apparently your food will rot as well.
Oh no. Okay, well then there goes my argument.
So if you hunt meat, you have to obviously take it back to camp. So you have to put it on your horse. And if you take too long to get back to camp, the meat will just rot.
Okay. It's a bit hectic, but hey, you know what? We haven't played the game.
Yeah,
so
I'm curious to play and see because despite all this, everyone seemed extremely positive on it, the people that did play. So yeah, I mean, that's like a month away, 26th of October. Can you believe it?
So soon.
What else?
Is there any other news? News. Let's do one more.
Soul Calibur.
Oh yeah, Nintendo's online service launched this week.
Oh yeah, that happened. Yeah, so you can play.
Did you play any of the NES games?
No, I mean you get 7 days free. So.
Yeah, the only one I'd play, to be honest, is like Super Mario World. I mean, Super Mario Bros. 3.
That's the only one I really want to play.
Yeah, there's one or two others I might play, but it's nothing like wow. I need the service ASAP.
Just taking a glance. I think
we've covered the big stuff.
News.
All the big news.
I see Capcom shutting down.
And just did you went to Comic-Con?
I did.
How was it?
I thought it was really good. Considering it's that's all the news done.
Cool.
It was the first one of this sort of ilk here.
Yeah.
It was run by Reed Pop, who run the Comic Cons overseas. And I thought it was really good. It was held at Kyalami Racing Track, which was a nice change of pace from, the traditional dome.
Yeah, the dome.
I think it gave people more space to move around because it was kind of like segmented between 3 floors. So you had like the main floor, and then underneath that was a whole hall just for merchandise. So it was good that they separated that.
Yeah.
And the main hall also had, space for the panels. And then there was like the hallway with separate rooms for panels. And then there was like an upper floor for just more shit.
Shit.
And then a completely separate room for like Artists Alley. So loads of local artists selling their stuff. And it was very busy, very hot because, moving between halls or sometimes you go outside and there was lots of food trucks outside. But it was really, really good. A really good vibe.
Nice.
It felt like there were more people cosplaying than people just in regular clothes, which is fascinating to me. Which is cool. And just like cosplay from all sorts. Like Rage traditionally is like cosplay, a very small amounts from games and the rest is from anime, which is 100% fine. I don't care. But this just felt like a much more even spread. There were people, as comic characters and TV shows and anime and then games and the caliber of
there's some really good cosplay.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
There was a dude in this Predator suit.
Yeah, I saw photos of him.
Who had like completely made this like latex suit for his whole body. It was fucking so good.
I can't even fathom how, like, where do you begin on such a project? Like, where do you
Apparently
even start?
it took him 2 years. Like it was incredible, that suit. And then our good pal Darren in his armored Batman suit was really good.
That Batman suit was really
really good. I got to wear his helmet with the voice changer. It was
I want to ask the lights, because the eyes lights up. What does it look like from the inside?
Oh, it looks fine. It's just like you can see.
Is it fine? You can see.
Yeah, the lights are essentially next to your eyes.
Okay,
so
but it gives off that effect. Okay. Yeah. Because when you look at it, it does look like whoa, your whole eyes are covered. Oh my gosh! And I was
no. He designed it pretty well.
That's really cool.
So and the helmet was good.
And the voice changer.
Every single year, he keeps going, "Oh, I'm finally building a cosplay where I won't melt in the heat."
No.
And I'm just like, you keep making the same mistake.
Yeah.
Like a big bulky like Batman suit. You're gonna fucking coke. You're gonna toast in the sun, and you did. Yeah.
Okay, Darren, you've he does listen to the show. Good friend of the show, as far as I know. Okay, Darren, you've mastered our lights. Now you need to master air conditioning.
Yeah, just like little fans inside. I think it was better because he wasn't wearing like a latex or rubber, cowl. Remember that thing?
Yeah,
oh God, that
so you could breathe like normally at least.
Yeah.
So it was a good suit,
his Batman was really, really good. There was just really good cosplay. I saw this family dressed up as Superman, like husband and wife and even the baby.
No, that's
There was a dude, it was so
Halo.
cute. A big guy in a Halo suit and then his kid in like a Halo suit.
That is awesome.
There was a little girl there who Tracy fell in love with who was dressed up as like baby Aloy.
Oh, no way.
So
That's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, it was very, very cool.
Man,
so
parents with cosplay kids, that's the best.
good time.
It's a dream.
So Comic-Con was a roaring success.
That's
I thought.
cool. I'll definitely go next year.
Getting in and out was easy. The parking was fine.
You think the parking was fine? I heard a lot of people moaning about the
A lot
parking.
of people were fucking moaning because they had to walk a bit far. Like, come on. Come on. Like, walking's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, and it wasn't even that far. We walked for maybe like 15 minutes. It's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
Just relax.
Just
like,
walk.
Firstly, parking was free, which is not at the
cool,
dome.
yeah.
Secondly, getting in and out to Kyalami, no
What
issues.
a dream, yeah.
No traffic, no nothing. Think back to how it is at the dome. The dome is a shit show.
It's busy.
and they charge you like 30-40 rand for parking. Like, you can walk those 15 minutes. Like,
for free.
yeah.
Oh, wow, definitely. The thing is, it like snuck up on me. It's one of those things where I knew it was coming and I was like, yeah, cool. Then it was like, oh, it's this weekend. Tickets are sold out. I was like,
Yeah, it was so full.
Yeah,
Unbelievably
it's
full.
packed.
Yeah.
Next year, I will make a plan.
Next year,
100%.
I'm very interested to see next year.
Cool. So yeah, that's news though, I suppose.
Questions.
Shall we move over to questions?
Yeah,
So
somehow we stretched this into a normal size podcast.
Oh my gosh, we were gonna rush. Okay, for number one, we've got 1, 2,
half
3,
an hour
4.
discussions on game releases.
Oh, we've got 5 questions to get through. 5 questions to get through. 5 questions to get. Okay, so from Migs, he says, if Caption and Barbosa didn't have Matthew Figueroa and vice versa, who would be the second ideal Checkpoint Chat co-host partner in crime on the podcast? That is a trick question. No one can replace Alessandro.
100%, yeah, the trick question.
He's like, yeah, no one can replace me.
The person I'd dig to have on this podcast if you lived here was Darren.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
Damn, why
I
do you
often
live so
chat to him
far?
about it, but he lives in PE, but he would be really good, I think.
If he's up from PE, we'll have him as we'll have Batman on the show.
I mean, we've never discussed having guests on here.
Yeah.
Because, I live pretty far away from everyone, and asking people to give up time on a Saturday is hard. But if there ever comes a point where something will seem cool where we can try, we'll try. We'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, then we have to worry about the admin of getting your dogs used to
then I need to get another microphone.
Oh my gosh. And Paw Patrol is going to be oh wait, weed was legalized this week.
Oh yeah. That's the big news.
Paw Patrol's got nothing on.
Paw Patrol can't do anything.
Can't arrest me now. Okay, second question from Megs. It says, if you could live for eternity in a game world, what would it be and why? Example, Raccoon City.
Fuck
Bashing
no.
Head sounds
Why would I want to live there?
Bashing Head sounds like fun. Yeah, until you run out of ammo and you get eaten by a zombie.
Yeah, no, that doesn't. That's like living in perpetual anxiety.
Yeah, here's the thing. No. Okay, so killing zombies, it could
fun
be fun
for half an hour.
Yeah, it could be fun. But then I think of Raccoon City, you've got like Nemesis walking around. You've got Lickers. You've got Hunters.
You've got Adam West.
You've got these...
what's his name? Wesker?
Adam West.
No, not Adam West.
You've got 60s Batman walking.
Adam Wesker. Is it Adam?
Albert West.
Fuck. Albert Wesker. My bad.
Yeah, you got Zombie, you got Hunt, you got Adam West. And it's like, bang, pow. Who would want to live in a world like that?
Oh, God.
What world would you live in?
My bad. What world?
Do cheat codes count? Because if so, you could live in like GTA's world and just live a high life. You don't have to do crime.
Oh, you can just cheat code yourself.
You just live how we do now, but with infinite money. Summon whatever car you want. You know?
I would dig to live in Assassin's Creed world just so I can use the Animus to visit different periods of time.
Ah, that'd be cool. Yeah, just jump back.
Be like
in time.
Cool ass history teacher and get an Animus for every student in my class. Be like, okay, Sally, don't stab Bob in the neck. Stop.
Leave Napoleon alone.
You're desynchronizing.
Oh my gosh, what is going on?
Catch 100 feathers, please.
Dive off buildings. Yeah. Don't be a wuss.
Just dive into that little hay pale.
A little haystack.
Yeah, but that'll be cool.
That's an interesting question. Yeah, Assassin's Creed is a good one. Yeah, but I think I enjoy escaping to fantasy worlds. I don't know if I'd want to live in them. I mean, it's not like the games you play are all
Final Fantasy 15's world.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay. Just go fishing every day.
Go fish all day, every day.
We can road trip as pals.
Have some ramen from Gladius.
Yeah, feed stray cats.
What is his name? Gladiola. Gladius. Yeah, jeez. Played the game for so long.
Gladio.
Gladiola. He's a flower.
Glad wrap.
Glad wrap. What? Okay. Is this Heinrich Mauer?
Heinrich.
Goran says the stunning reverse of roles in the upcoming Devil May Cry where Nero is now the one making Kairi scream. Discuss.
So we did in news. Yeah.
I didn't understand that until that piece now. Never mind. Also, since
Nero loves making Kairi scream.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Also, since I was talking to Caption Barbosa about this, how about you guys talk about some upcoming indie games that might not be getting the attention they deserve?
He showed me a cool video of like 10 indie games that are like flying underneath people's radars, and there was a bunch of games there that I'd never seen. They all look pretty cool. The ones that I saw in there that I have seen that I'm still super excited about are Sable. Yeah. It's like the cel-shaded exploration game. They showed it off at Microsoft's conference this year at E3. Looks really good.
Flying under the radar, except it's on a Microsoft stage. Although I forgot all about it.
He showed me this like really hardcore Castlevania-like game called Blasphemous, I think it was.
Blasphemous.
It's like really got this really violent like aesthetic, and it's creepy, and it just looks cool. It looks really cool. Any games that I think people should look for? There's one called Noita, Noita.
Yeah.
And it's like this dungeon crawler, but so every pixel in the game, because it's a pixel art game, is reactive to elements.
You spoke about this game like
Ages
on one
ago.
of our early episodes, but you didn't remember the name.
Yeah, I found the name.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So like you can have a potion flask that is filled with ignitable gas, for instance. You can throw it and you'll see the gas spread because it's like particle based. And then when you ignite it, all those particles ignite, and they'll ignite individual pixels around, like the space that you're in. And it's just like a really cool, when you look at it, you're like, man,
That's
why has
pretty.
no one ever done this before? And you're
Yeah.
like, fuck, this must be hard to do because of the processing. Like you're doing per pixel things. Like it just looks really cool.
That's cool.
Really, really,
What is
really
it called
cool.
again?
Noita. Noita.
Well, what platform is it on?
So far just PC, and there's no date on it yet.
Noita.
So yeah, that looks fucking dope.
That's cool. But yeah, nothing comes to mind for me because
I still want to play Below, but that's not an unknown game. Capybara Games is like a 2D Dark Souls.
Oh boy.
But that's been in dev for so long. Like I need that game. Yeah. There was one I saw this week. I can't remember the name now. I remember looking up its Steam page and its release date was just like when it's ready. And
yeah.
Like, cool.
Okay, Blizzard, calm down.
Yeah, I can't recall.
Can't even.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, maybe in future if any indie games come up. But I mean, I think
Noita, man, go look at that game.
That's
oh my
cool.
god.
Yeah, that sounds very
interesting. That game
interesting.
looks fucking cool.
But even going through our lists every week, our game release, I think a lot of the stuff is indie titles, but we can't nitpick because like we don't even know what this is, you know. But
yeah, Sable. Look up Sable. Sable it just looks beautiful.
Sable.
Cannot wait for that game.
Yeah, cool. Next question comes from resident mommy blogger at Moonstormer from America.
She's not a resident.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, American mommy blogger. She says, what have you enjoyed watching recently? Any good series or movies you'd recommend? Also, do you guys read it all? And if so, what are the best books you've read this year?
Go.
I'm bad at reading, but I have read some books this year, which I've already spoken about. I mean, I've read Blood, Sweat, and Pixels.
Same.
Which is
very
just
good.
Quick recap. It's just every chapter is a story about a game and like the development it went through, how it worked out, how it didn't work out. Game crunch, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think in the wake of these two studios closing, it's really good to revisit.
That's a sort of book you should read because you'll understand how that sort of thing can happen.
Yeah, it's got like triumphant stories and very sad stories, and it's just really good.
Yeah, it is fascinating because you do think you're like, yeah, game dev is easy. Like, no, it is another world where I know Alessandro, he's in game dev. I've read and written about game devs for years. And even I was like, holy shit, like the conditions these people and the expectations have to deal with, it's just...
And even all the things
unreal.
That are never reported on. Like, there were fascinating things in the Dragon Age Inquisition chapter that, never made the news and was just fascinating to learn about some of the troubled things in that development. And, I'm still of the opinion that games as a culture would be a lot better if the people who played games took time to understand the process of how they're made
them,
and this is a really good book to do that.
I also read Console Wars.
I need to get to that.
That book was so like I really love that book because it's just
so it is. It's a history of
it's in the name Console Wars. It's set in the time and it tells a story of when Nintendo sort of rose to power.
What you mean they never left?
They never left. So, long story short, there was a gaming boom. The gaming industry crashed, and then Nintendo single-handedly revived it with Donkey Kong arcade machines. And then Sega came into the picture, and a big part of the story is how Sega went, the effort they went through to go toe-to-toe against Nintendo and compete against them. But just the insights that book had, like things you'd never expect. I mean, I had no idea we nearly had a Nintendo PlayStation.
Oh yeah, I love
which is like, can you imagine that alternate reality where Sony and Nintendo did get on and like Nintendo didn't screw them over? Well,
Nintendo
they screwed them 100%. Over. So, but imagine we had a Sony, a Nintendo PlayStation, whatever. Like I don't know
There's
what
an alternate
gaming,
reality out there where Sony never got into the console business.
So yeah, Sony doesn't exist, and then it would be Nintendo, PlayStation, and maybe Xbox would still be around. Like I don't know.
I mean, Xbox wouldn't have got in if they didn't see the success of the PS2. Like, what would have happened?
I don't know. So there's just little things like that where it's unreal how you see how decisions were made. You're like, oh my god, like this game, whatever, ended up being such a success. Sony didn't get to go with Nintendo, so they made their own thing. It's just really interesting.
I've got the book. I've bought it. I just haven't read it yet.
It's an interesting read. Like it's a bit slow at times, but it's still really fascinating.
TV series?
I've been watching Friends with Lenska.
Fuck.
Friends is a great time. I don't care what anyone says. It's light watching. You don't have to do like much brain thinking. It's really just light humor.
Dumb.
It's not dumb.
Dumb.
That show's funny. And after that, I'm going to tell you we're going to go into that 70s show because I'm enjoying the light binge watching of, these shows.
That 70s show is a good time.
It's a good time.
If only for Red.
Put your foot in his ass.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
What? And what about
I haven't been reading because I've been bad with reading, but I also read Blood, Sweat, and Pixels a while back. But I do watch a lot of TV series now. I recently wrapped up Ozark season 2 on Netflix, which is fucking phenomenal.
Ozark?
Yeah, Ozark is it stars Jason Bateman, and it's about this family that launders money for Mexican cartels and stuff like that. That's the very broad premise because I don't want to give anything away because even just the first episode of the first season is so intense.
Sure.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like a new age Breaking Bad, just darker, less like comedic in a way. But it's just super good. And the second season was really good as well. So yeah. I started watching a new series on Netflix yesterday called Maniac.
Maniac.
Which is it's got Emma Stone and Jonah Hill.
No.
And it's directed by Corey Fukunaga, who just got announced this week as the new director for James Bond. He also did True Detective season 1, which is the only good season of True Detective.
Oh.
I don't know if I like the series at all. It's very strange. I don't know what it's really trying to do, and it's just weird for weird's sake. Like it almost feels like super arty, and it's about these like clinical trials that are trying to formulate like a 3-tablet method to remove traumatic experiences from the brain.
Oh, she's a...
But it's strange. It almost looks like it's set in like the 1960s, but there's like this advanced AI and VR technology, even though it's like olden times. So it's like this meld of new and old, and it's very weird.
Weird?
Yeah, it's super weird. Like 100% give it a go. Because I mean, I saw the trailers. I was like, this looks like my jam. And then after 3 episodes, I was like, not sure. Yeah. Also, I watched MasterChef on Hulu, and that shit is...
Oh, man.
So it just finished.
Great. Yeah.
Just finished, and my dude... I won't say who won in case someone's spoiled it, but fuck, I was so happy.
Did you shit it? Yeah.
There's so many parts in the season where I was just like on the verge. I was just like, man, this is so sad.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm not crying, you're crying. It was so good. So good. So yeah.
I think that's quite a broad range of things for you to look at, Zoe. And the final one from Corey Stradom. He says, with this whole Telltale shutting down, it reminds me, are games too cheap? $60 for a AAA game seems too cheap, and it's been that price forever. And effort and dollars it takes to make games these days, are they profitable?
This is such a complex question. So
I don't know.
I'm not an economist, so all I can talk about is from what I see. And what I see is that there's more and more games on the market. It's becoming easier and easier to distribute games and get, like, how many games do we go through coming out in the next week? Like 30?
It's like 1 million.
Yeah. I mean, that gives you an idea of the competitive space that we're in. And then it doesn't help that even established studios like Telltale, who get a lot of press, every new game of theirs is written about, they're still not breaking profit. So it comes down to, are there too many games on the market? Is it, suffocating, the competition, and only the truly exceptional get recognized? Or is it a case of mismanagement, which in Telltale's case seems the issue, taking on too much on their plate, and not necessarily a case of their games being too expensive, just like getting lost within everything else. So I think the budgets of games have increased so drastically that it is strange that we haven't seen a price increase in games. I definitely think there should be, because game developers are traditionally underpaid workers when compared to, a game developer is a programmer. A games programmer is a programmer, and they are on average earning less than what they would earn in a traditional corporate environment, and that's just the nature of games development. You take that hit because you are passionate about it. And then you get all these instances of crunch and studio closures out of nowhere. So you're working for less money in a more demanding space and a more volatile one. It's not attractive. Like, there's a reason a lot of game developers tell people to avoid getting into the industry. I don't know if raising prices of games alleviates that, or if it just means less sales.
Yeah.
Like, it's complex. Like, cool, do we raise the price of games because the price to make them is going up? Sure. But then how many less sales are you making because now the games are more expensive? But if you keep them at the same price, can you continue pushing the envelope that is expected of you? Because players of games constantly want bigger, better, and that takes money. That doesn't just happen. Like, people are just like, oh yeah, but there's a new engine. Yeah, that engine costs money. And then people have to be trained to work with that engine, or, you know, spend more time, maybe they take 3 months to make one thing instead of 2 because now it's new technology. Like, that all costs money. People don't realize that. So no one has the answer.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would be easy.
Because, I mean, I don't know. It depends. Like, games like Hollow Knight, that being $150. And you and I both agree, like, it does seem criminal. But then it's also an entry point price where people will pick it. People who might not have played the game will consider picking it up. It's that whole age-old debate, like, do games go on sale too quickly? Like, maybe. But people who might not have bought it at full price and now will buy the game. So I don't know. Like, it's a very complex thing.
You just have to look at Bethesda as an example. Like, they put their games on sale so quickly, like 2-3 months now even, that people expect it. Like, they are struggling with launch day sales because people are waiting for the sale because they've come to expect it from them. And, like, it's hurting their bottom line. Like, you know, Dishonored didn't sell as well as it should have. I don't think Wolfenstein did, as far as I understand. And that just shows you that making the game cheaper isn't the way to go.
No.
Like, but they weren't getting their sales at $60. So what do they do?
Yeah.
But like you said, Hollow Knight's a good example. Like, how many people would give Hollow Knight a chance if it was 300 Rand?
Yeah. Or 600 Rand.
And they should, because it's a fucking good game.
It's really good, yeah.
Like, when you hear people talking about it, you log onto the eShop, it's like, oh, this is only 150 Rand?
Like, I'll buy it. But that's the thing, though. It's you almost have to, you have to find the balance of, you know, price versus, I don't know, people's expectations and costs and that. But I just think of Hollow Knight as a perfect example because we've always said it feels too cheap.
It really does.
For what the game is.
It's the cheapest 30 hours of entertainment.
Yeah, like it's dirt cheap. But then I do think about people I've told to buy the game. Like, I don't think they would have played it otherwise if it was more expensive.
Or given it a chance.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's just a balance thing then, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, game dev is a very weird space where like a lot can go right, but like a lot can go wrong. And like Telltale's a very just recent example now of how you think they're fine. I mean, it was a bit left field. I thought they were completely fine.
Yeah.
And then literally overnight, 225 people, well, 250 technically, lost their jobs. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess. And, you know, there's all sorts of calls for game development to unionize, to protect people's rights, and then other arguments that unionization would completely cripple how the game industry operates now. But I think it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that there is something deeply fundamentally flawed with the way games are made nowadays. The industry behind them that is making them, and that it's becoming very, very clear that you have to be either extremely wealthy so that you can afford to make mistakes, or extremely wealthy that you can push the envelope in ways that games like God of War and Spider-Man do, because hell yeah, those games are incredible, but fucking hell yes, those games are expensive.
Yeah.
Those games are some of the most expensive games ever produced. Or you are an independent developer that strikes on a really good idea and has the savviness to sell it.
Yeah.
Because there are so many great unrealized ideas in games right now. There is no middle ground anymore.
We pitch one every week, basically.
Yeah. There's no middle ground anymore. Like, just look at Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That game cost, it's Square Enix, one of the most prolific publishers in this space. They probably spent a bunch of money on that.
Yeah.
And it's just good.
Yeah.
And it's probably not going to
sell as well.
And it's not a bad game.
No. Yeah.
How the fuck do you justify to someone this is
I don't know. I don't have the
that's
answers.
Not broken? Like, it's broken. It needs to change. I don't have the answers to how it will change that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good question though.
But
I enjoyed that. Was that Corey?
Corey, yes.
Cool. Thanks, Corey.
Yeah, thank you. And that's everything.
Yeah.
That's everything. Oh, that's episode 25. The quarter life crisis episode.
Jesus, this is one of our longer podcasts. How does
Every
this
week,
happen?
every week, we're going to be quick, and then we're not.
Yeah, I don't know how this happens, man.
Need to have shock collars. Like, stop talking.
But this was good. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to get your questions heard, like Corey, Heinrich, Zoe, and Mix,
all these people, all of them.
You can tweet us at Checkpoint Chat on Twitter. You can also slide into our DMs there. We also have a great Facebook page, facebook.com/checkpoint chat. You can also send us questions
pretty
there.
pictures now.
You put pretty pictures now. Ooh.
Well, I was just posting stuff as is, but now I put pretty pictures.
You can send us messages there. You can also email us on checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. And as always, you can find us on any podcast service.
All of them.
Basically. And any ones that let you rate us, hit that rate button.
Yeah.
Hit that 5-star or 10 out of 10.
Give us your comments,
Or give a 0 and tell us why so we can improve. Yeah. Give us your feedback.
Yes.
I want your feedback.
We want money. Give us your... No, I'm kidding.
Give us your 5-star.
Give us your 5-star chocolates.
Yes. But yeah, that's been episode 25 of Checkpoint Chat.
It's wunderbar.
Keep an eye on Twitter because next week we don't know if we'll be able to record. I might have some things going on.
Busy MF.
Yeah. I might be very busy.
Okay.
But we will notify people.
Cool. Yeah, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks.
See you next week, maybe. Bye.
Bye.